Okay, so the Dota 2 International started last night, and I'm a huge Dota fan. This is kind of like our Super Bowl. Um, and I've never really been into fantasy or doing predictions or anything, but I kind of wanted to try it just to see how wrong I could possibly be about the state of the game and everything. So last night I posted a video that was just this for like, I don't know, 25 seconds. This was my predictions for the group stage for the start. And it's a unlisted video, so I'll put the link to it at the bottom of this one, um, just as proof for when I posted it. But I mean, I was wrong on some things, and I haven't changed them obviously, so that's easy to see. But I kind of just wanted to go do a really quick video and talk about why I made the predictions I did, and then after the group stage, I'll come back and I'll look at what actually happened, just to kind of, mostly it's just for me to figure out exactly how close I am. But so the group stage is divided into two brackets. You got your I think this is Group B and this is Group A. So we'll start with Group A and go through, and uh, it's just each team does a round robin, and it's two matches, and each win is 1 point. And then if there's any ties at the end, um, that gets set up in the tiebreaker. And I didn't even do the point totals because I threw this together in about an hour before the first game. So I didn't even count. I probably should, but if there's a tie, I have no idea what's going to happen. So, but just real quick, I'll just kind of look it over, um, everything I think. So the way I've got this set up is, the team on the left is first, and then the team that's above is the second number. So, like in your alliance column, I have them going 1-1 with Chaos and Keen, Meniski and Newbie both losing to Alliance, 0-2. PSG, Liquid, and Secret both beating Alliance, 2-0, and TNC going 1-1. And that's kind of how it works out across for all of them. And I only did the bottom half because it's just a mirror. So, first of all, let's talk about what already happened. I know I watched Secret and Alliance play last night, and as I was watching, I couldn't remember what I predicted. Whether I'd said it was Secret 2-0 or Alliance or a 1-1 matchup, and it was close. It should have been a 1-1 matchup. Basically, I think Alliance is at this point where they're kind of a dark horse, and all their players are good. They just aren't top tier. They're not a team that is like setting the meta. They're not a team that you expect to come out with just some insane strat and dominate with it. They're good, but I don't think they're amazing. And I don't know, maybe it's a little unfair of me to say that Chaos and Keen will go 1-1 with them, but I think it's kind of a fair statement. Like I just don't think Chaos or Keen are good enough to go 2-0 for sure. But I don't think that they're bad enough that I'm going to say Alliance is going to 2-0 them. Meniski and Newbie, I kind of do. Newbie looks good. I mean, have team rosters pulled up. Click, click. Oh, awesome. I'm pretty sure I have Newbie in here. Yeah. So, Newbie has Owie 2000 and Banana as their coaches, and Owie is a really smart player, is a TI winner, but um, the problem I have with him is you have Yuar is position 1, CCNC is position 2, and I have a problem with that, first of all, because both of those are mid players, and it gives them flexibility. Sure, they can flip off, but I don't think either one of them is stellar as a position 1 carry. I think they both do their best work as a mid laner, as a playmaker and as somebody that's going to set the tempo for the mid game, not as somebody that's going to sit back and chill and then dominate the late game. And in this meta, I feel like that's important. Maybe I'm overrating it, and maybe I'm underrating UR. I mean, I don't know for sure. The other three, Pielidae, Snaking, MSS, they've all been players for forever, and they're all very good. Pielidae is an excellent support, probably one of the top 5 supports in the game, but I just don't see, like, I see no star power here, really, and I don't see any way for them to pull into late games regularly. And I think the meta is there is a bit of a death ball meta, but right now it's hard. If you pull out this strat where you're gonna win early, it just doesn't seem to be working. And in the Alliance secret game last night, there was one game Alliance should have won, and they didn't. And I think the reason they didn't is because you just hit this point where it's like you can't win the game faster than the enemy carry comes online. So, but all told, I think Newbie and Mineski are both bottom tier, and I put kind of Alliance, Chaos, Keen in this mid tier range with PSG, LGD, Liquid, Secret being the top 3. And that's pretty well reflected. I mean, basically PSG, LGD, I have them going 1-1 with Keen. And the reason I have that is because I don't think Keen is all that good. But and I don't know how true this is lately, maybe, but from what I can recall, and I don't stay way up on the Chinese scene, but it seems like PSG LGD has this bad habit of ignoring other Chinese teams or ignoring other Southeast Asian teams. And it's weird because they just dominate all season long. And they're at the top of the qualifiers for every tournament. It's just like they step on every team that comes their way from their region. And then when you actually get into a LAN tournament, it's like they shift gears and they've flipped over to, okay, we have to beat Secret, we have to beat Liquid, we have to beat OG. And it's like they forget how to play Chinese teams. And it feels like that these other Chinese teams or other even Southeast Asian teams sometimes take games off of them. And I've seen them lose 2-0 or lose 2-1 to teams that, 3 weeks ago in a qualifying match they destroyed. So I gave Keen a 1-1 edge on PSG LGD, but that was it. And I gave Liquid a 1-1 because I think Liquid, Secret, and PSG LGD are probably the top 3, and I think Liquid and PSG LGD are about the same skill level. I think Liquid may be more skilled overall, but I think that because they won because they won TI 2 years ago and because they've done really well in the last 2 seasons, I think people kind of have their number, and that's why they dropped Matumba Man. But I'm not really sure that them picking up Weehaw was enough of a change up, really, for them. It might have been. For Secret, I kind of gave Keen a 1-1 edge on them too. Because I feel like Keen can probably just take a game off of any of these people. But I don't feel that confident in their ability to actually decimate somebody. I have Secret and Liquid both losing a game to Newbie. And I think that is more because of the UR factor and a little bit because of a CCNC factor. It feels like both of them kind of get in the head of Mid 1 and Weehaw, and I'm not sure what the matchup will be. If it's UR mid as a position 1, that probably means he's playing Alchemist. and that could be a problem. I feel like Secret and Liquid can both beat that, unless it's a major outdraft. But if it's CC and C mid as a position 2, then I feel like CC and C has the capability to go off and put both Liquid and Secret in a position where they can't come back fast enough. I'm not positive. I don't know. Team's just kind of in that weird position for me. Meniski is not really worth talking about. I kind of have them going 1-1 with the bottom tier teams and losing 2-0 to the top tier teams. And that's just kind of where I rank them. I feel like probably out of this group, one team is going to get eliminated, and I think it'll be Meniski. I just don't think they're good enough to really scrape together enough points from this group stage to stay in. They might. I mean, I think TNC might be another team that could end up in that 8th slot, but I wouldn't put money on it, honestly. I feel like that's pretty much it. I feel like this bracket is fairly easy to just to look at and to say that's it, right? Because you're gonna have, let's see how many you got. There's 8 teams, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 9 teams. So you've got 4 that are gonna make it through, 4 that are gonna go to the lower bracket, and then 1 that gets eliminated. So you're gonna have LGD, Liquid, Secret go through without a hitch. And I think elimination will be Meniski or TNC. Yeah, I think that's fair. And then probably Alliance will be your 4th. I think. Because this is probably a little biased for me to have them as 2-0. I think it's possible that they could take that game, but I don't think it's likely. And they obviously didn't versus Secret, but again, it was close. So, okay, I mean that's pretty much it. For the other bracket, this makes me sad because it's Evil Geniuses. This is your American hope. I mean, if it doesn't work out, I guess we'll just root for Liquid or somebody else, that's not American, and we'll just chant USA anyway. That's how we do. This is a little different of a bracket. OG was last year's winners, and they have done awful this year. Just bad, awful. And there's a lot of they're catching a lot of flack for it, and like people are saying that the only reason they won the international was because of the patch and they got lucky, and I don't think that's fair. I think they're all definitely top tier, top skill players. I think that the reason they won TI was because they were a fresh matchup, because they pulled people that weren't in the pro scene or weren't hugely active in the pro scene, and nobody had a read on them. Which I guess is kind of a good lead into Fnatic. I put Fnatic as 1-1 on everything except for EG, NIP, and OG. And Fnatic actually went 2-0 versus EG last night. So this is as wrong as it could be, but that's okay. One thing I forgot to do when I was doing this was factor in the fact that EG always sucks in the group stages, and they almost always start in the lower bracket, and I was just trying to think about their skill as a team. And to be fair, I mean, I've kind of got them as slightly mediocre. I said they would 2-0 Fnatic and Infamous and Royal. And I think they could still 2-0 Infamous. I think they'll still 2-0 Royal. But I'm less sure about them now. Kind of disappointed after last night, I guess. OG, I have going 2-0 against Fnatic, against Infamous, against Navi, and I have them going 2-0 against Royal. And I think that's fair. In this group, like I looked up Royal. Royal is a Chinese team that I like. I'm not even sure when they started playing. Really, did I even pull them up? I didn't even pull them up. It's newbie. Who was the one I really wanted to talk about? Was it TNC? Maybe. But Royal is just like off my radar. And I've been watching Dota since 2014, and I have heard of one of their players. And so I just like Royal is just this team where I'm like, I'm not even sure how they made it through the qualifiers. Maybe there's nothing else good enough in China. I don't know. It's really weird to me, but I see Royal as the group that is getting eliminated in this for sure. For the group that is going to be in the top, I think Vici will be for sure. And I think Virtus.pro will be for sure. I have a lot more uncertainty about this group because I feel like these teams are just not the very top of the skill bracket right now. Like if I had to pick the top 3 teams in TI right now, it would be Secret, Liquid, and PSG LGD. And so I look at this bracket and I'm thinking anything could happen. Fnatic, though, is kind of a brand new team. They cobbled together everything really quickly, really recently, and they absolutely stomped EG last night. Twice in a row, no contest, and already people are talking about the OG factor, like maybe this is going to be that team. And yeah, it's cool. It could be if they have that potential. I think to follow the exact method that OG did last year and just dominate because no one knows how to play against them because they haven't been playing as this team at all yet. Having said that, I don't know that I have that much confidence in each individual player. I feel like probably top tier is going to be Virtus.pro, Vici Gaming. I think OG will make it into the top group. They haven't done great in tournaments recently, but they have qualified, they have placed. And given that you've got 9 teams, one gets eliminated, 4 in the top, I think they've got a good shot there. For the last slot, I don't know. I hope EG. I want it to be EG, but I don't know. NIP, Ninjas in Pajamas, has a good shot. PBD is a excellent shot caller, and he always has been, and he is a stellar drafter. He's got to be probably second or third in the most skilled drafters behind Puppy, Kuroki. And I don't know, he comes up with stuff. The thing about Peter is his strats are either absolutely just he nailed it and he totally predicted every single thing that the enemy drafter or the other team's drafter was going to try to do, and he counters it and it's just beautiful. Or you look at it and you're left thinking, like, did they just random? Like, what happened? It doesn't feel like they thought about this at all. And then sometimes they even win those drafts, and then your caster and your commentator and everybody are just staring at their screens going, sure, NIP win. So I think they have that slot. EG definitely has the skill. I feel like EG could be top tier, and for a lot of this season they've been, third place is kind of their thing anyway, but for a lot of the season they were up there with Secret. I mean, it was Secret, EG as the top 2, and people were already making bets on how that grand final was going to turn out. But they're not looking good. It was not a good opener. Maybe they're jet lagged. It was their first day. I don't know, but I guess we'll wait and see. As for the rest of them, Navi, I think, is in a situation really similar to Alliance. I think all of their players have very high skill potential, but as a team, they just don't seem to be able to really do things consistently and win games consistently over the same teams. It feels like they only have a few real draft options, and if those fall apart, they're SOL. They only have, inside those draft options, even if they get what they want, if the lanes fall apart, it just seems like if things go wrong, they can't come back. And at a tournament this big, I mean, pressure is a real thing, right? And I feel like this goes for Infamous and Navi and potentially even Virtus Pro, really. These are all teams that have a history of just falling apart and throwing everything, and it feels like at a certain point something just isn't clicking anymore and they just die. So I think, out of your two brackets, I think Group A, you're going to have Alliance as a potential spoiler that could come in and do weird things. You're going to have Keen as a potential spoiler that can come in and do weird things. But I think at the end of the day, I think when everything's totaled up, I think the results are going to be kind of expected, And that might be the only real switch that I can see happening, is whether or not Alliance is in the upper bracket or Keen is. But in the bottom bracket, this, I think, has the potential to either be the most insane upsets or just the most boring games you'll ever watch. The Fnatic EG game was great. Even though EG was losing, I was kind of just impressed with Fnatic. And normally they wouldn't be a team that I would follow through the group stage, but I think I probably will this year just because I was impressed. Now, if they go up against Nip or Navi or OG or somebody and they just die, I may be like, okay, well, it was a fluke. But I think these are the games that you're going to want to watch. If you believe in Cinderelling your way to victory, then this is probably where your team's going to come from. If you think somebody's going to end up in the lower bracket and then just beat everyone and end up winning TI, I think they will come from this bracket. But wait and see. So that's kind of just my short stick reasoning for why I picked these people. I don't think I really left anything out. Probably did. May have made no sense whatsoever. I don't know. After the group stage, though, if there's time before the tournament starts, I will try to make a group stage video and reanalyze everything and go over it then. If there's not, if I don't know how many of the games I'm actually going to get to watch. If I don't really feel like I have anything interesting to say, I may just make a quick post that says, hey, this is actually what happened. And I'll probably do it again for the main brackets once the main bracket for the tournament gets settled. But for that, that's all I've got. I'm going to go spend inordinate amounts of time watching Dota when I should be doing other things. And I'll see you later.